Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Obviously, just a quick recap of the game Saturday. Watching the film from that game, I think there's some opportunities that we maybe left out there that we wish we'd had back, and kind of felt that way going through the game. But some really high-level performances by some of our players, and sit there to go toe-to-toe with that opponent and make it a 60-minute football game. Really proud of our effort, especially defensively, to keep us in there in some tough moments. Obviously, a lot of week one mistakes we got to improve on and check the tape and do a good job telling ourselves the truth on that and get it fixed. We got a quality opponent coming in this weekend, Western Kentucky, and well-coached group. It's off to a hot start, playing at a really high level on offense, and a defense that flies around and has some really good players there that can impose their will on you. So we're gonna have to be at our best Saturday night here. Looking forward to a great crowd and getting our home schedule kicked off.
What stood out to you most about just things that need corrected this week?
Well, I mean, as I said after the game, a lot of week one mistakes. I mean, we get a first down, we get a penalty on the hands of the face call, we get a turnover early in the game, we get a stop on defense, and we have a penalty there. Like there's just things that are just penalties in a kicking game, missed assignments on offense. Just things that are week one things that you really guard against, because we had plenty of examples through the preseason week 0 games where people did the same thing. So it's frustrating that those showed up, but we got to correct them and move on.
How encouraged were you by the defense? I mean, SEC opponent, quarterback only has 85 passing yards, and then when you kind of fast forward, then you're going to be facing an unbelievable offense this week.
Well, I mean, really the statistic that really shows to me is like to be able to help limit them to minimal rushing yards until that last long run that got out, and but that's Division I football against a good team. You got to fit the right gaps at the right time, and those explosive runs, they're backbreakers, but they did a good job hanging in there and really stopping that and, challenging the pass. We know we have veteran guys in our secondary, and they can cover. They're talented players. So whoever we're going to play against, we like our matchups. But, as you mentioned, this week this team is, they're a well-oiled machine in the passing game, and they're going to challenge you on the perimeter. They got good slot receivers that can get down on your safeties, and you got to do a good job of getting our hands on some passing in the passing lanes, and gets our hands on the ball. And if we're lucky enough to get the overthrows and potentially the tip passes, we got to make sure that that we get those.
The new OC, new quarterback for Western, is last year not even really relevant?
I mean, really both sides of the ball. New coordinator on offense and on defense. But I think the team really takes on the mentality of the head coach, and that's not any different. I mean, they're going to be aggressive, and they want to challenge you, in early downs and stay ahead of the sticks on offense. And then on defense, they're going to pressure you. They're going to play man coverage, and they're going to challenge your receivers, and they're going to try to get up in your face and play that way. So, and they got the players to do it. So it's going to be a stiff challenge for us.
You mentioned the passing game for them. I mean, you mentioned passing lanes is going to be a key, but what's kind of the preparation as you're going up against an offense that likes to throw the ball around a lot?
Well, I mean, you know more about this opponent than maybe you did last week's opponent. You're basing everything off of last year's videotape, and as I mentioned before, 2 new coordinators. Some of that's carryover, most of it is not. Yeah, you just got to do the best job you can in this short window this week that we have, and really seek improvement from week 1 to week 2. And really, that starts with the process. And these guys have, we had a good 10-day prep on Kentucky. Here, you're back into a week routine, so it's a little bit different this week.
Week 1 tackling is always kind of a meager thing. I mean, you guys played pretty well, I guess, against Kentucky on Saturday. You think, right?
I mean, I think for the most part, I mean, you got to win your one-on-one battles, and I think at times that, you can get beat, and if the ball doesn't find your receiver, nobody knows about it. But if it does, then it's another challenge to get them on the ground. So, yeah, I mean, I thought for the most part we tackled well. Every team presents a different set of challenges on how well they play in space with spatial players. This group is get the ball out of the quarterback's hand and get it to their playmakers, so we're going to have to do a great job tackling these guys for sure.
In terms of the run game, I know that was kind of a struggle on Saturday. Is there anything that you can pinpoint in terms of what you guys did well but also could improve on this week?
Well, I mean, we got to find some consistency, and continue to, try to stay ahead of the sticks and do a better job that way. And that obviously sets the table for a lot of things, but, not an easy front to open up the season with. I mean, it's a good front. It is what it is. And, we've had some self-inflicted errors, but force some errors as well. I mean, that's going to happen. So we're going to do a good job putting together a plan that will allow our guys to be, more successful this week and go to work on that.
Jason, I know you guys live in the moment, but just big picture, the Group of Five's playoff access has obviously created a new dynamic. Is that more exciting for the top teams in the G5, or is that almost kind of more annoying because it's kind of reframed the appreciation just for the journey of the season and how we view football for 100 years?
Yeah, I don't really concern myself with that part of it 3 months away, what that looks like. I'm really concerned about Monday and trying to prepare for Western Kentucky and make sure we do a good job of winning this football game.
Oh, I mean, we usually talk offense, defense, matchups or whatever, but Western Kentucky's kicker is 8 for 8, all beyond 40 yards. Their punter is averaging 50 plus. How underrated of a weapon are those two things in a game like this where it's going to be pretty evenly matched?
I mean, everything matters, right? I mean, it's I don't think we didn't win the hidden yardage battle Saturday. I don't think we particularly punted the ball well. We had a snap on the ground. We got to clean up our end of it and try to be at our best so we can balance that out or win that hidden yardage battle. And, that's an equal phase. I mean, there's 3 phases to this game, in every game. So we've benefited from great special teams play here before, and it seems like that they're, as you mentioned, they're off to a hot start due to, that being an impactful, area of their team too.
That's all set.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.